I want to say to Donald Trump, God's going to use him to restore Israel. That will be God's doing, not Donald Trump's doing, but God will use him. Israel will be restored to what God has meant for Israel to be. And he will also promote Jews to go back to Israel, to allow that nation to prosper again.
Remember my prophecy in the beginning of the year, I spoke about Donald Trump, that he will help the Jews. Do you remember that? And that the Jews will go back to Israel. And with all their technology and everything, that Israel is going to become very, almost like a super state that will know so many things that the people will knock on their doors for many things. That is happening. That is starting to happening now.
The Jews in Israel is very glad because God rose up a man in America that defends them. And I tell you, I had a dream. Israel will get all their ground back. Give God a hand. I had a dream about Israel. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It was far more than a dream. I was in a spirit. I do not know if I was asleep or awake. I do not know. It was not a dream. Then I see in a spirit, the Jews are going back to Israel. All over the world. They've been qualified in many different, they became engineers and scientists, and they are highly qualified in many, many areas. And I see God take them back to Israel.
Now, we know that Donald Trump became a good friend of the Israelis and a protector of the Israelis and helped them and stands with them. Not that the Israelis need his protection, because God is with that nation for one reason, the promises he made to Abram. Amen. He said to Abram, in your seed the nations will be blessed, and I will make your offspring as many as the sand on the seashore. Can you count that sand? Huh? Now, that's the physical descendants of Israel. God will never, ever forget them. He will keep their promises to them. And God said about them, those who curse them will be cursed, and those who bless them will be blessed. Amen. And you should always take it into consideration, whatever you say about the nation, no matter what your political viewpoint, or no matter what your country's viewpoint, you make very sure that you don't curse that nation, and you don't stand against that nation, because your salvation comes from that nation.
He will help them financially to stand up.
And I personally gave him a prophecy. And I know he read that prophecy, he listened to the prophecy. I sent him a prophecy. I said, God is going to use you to help the Jews getting to their feet. You're going to help them financially. You're going to back them political, because the whole world is against them. Amen. And then I prophesied and I said, all the expertise that Israel lost by the Jews being scattered across the earth in the USA, South Africa, Asia, the Jews were everywhere. God is going to cause them to come back to Israel. And then all these abilities and these technologies and all the gifts that God has given them will be in one state. And then they're going to be a blessing to the nation. Who remember that prophecy? Huh? You remember that prophecy? It's happening now. Give Jesus a hand. It's happening now. You know that most African states already contacted Israel to help them in security and to help them with agriculture. Amen. India, they're helping India greatly. But making seawater drinkable. Now they're going to come here. Now they will come to South Africa and provide the Cape with water. Amen. That is taken from the sea. Amen. Okay? But you know what's sad for me? You know where that technology comes from. You won't believe me. From a South African man, an Afrikaner man, that was not allowed to do it in this country for whatever political reasons. So wait, you know where he went with his technology? He went to the Jews. Now our technology that we showed away is coming back to us through the Jews.